Hi everyone, welcome back to my channel. I hope you are all keeping well. This is my very first Valentine's Day DIY 2023. I'm so excited, but also I'm going to be sharing more information with you about my Valentine's Day open invite, all crafty corners of the world. Ooh, I like that. Every crafty corner of the world is invited to join in with my Valentine's Day open invite crafty collaboration. Whether you are on YouTube or Instagram or wherever you are, then you are welcome to join in the fun. So stay tuned. I'm going to tell you more about that in the video, and all of the details on how to join in with the crafty collaboration for Valentine's will be. My grammar. It's all going to be in the description box below. This one is a really simple, easy, fun, two-step Jesmonite Valentine's Day video. It's just a fun one. It's about as easy as it gets with Jesmonite, apart from just doing one solid block colour. This one's just next step up. So easy, but so much fun. I hope you love it. Let's go. We are creating two gorgeously Valentine's Day inspired trinket trays in this video. Now, these are the same molds you would have seen a billion times on my channel. I honestly have used them so much. They look dirty, but they are in fact very clean. We're going to need a squeezy bottle. I am going to be using this one here, used again many times. I clean it in between. We're going to be using the thin metal nib, but also we're going to take that off and create something even easier. The colours one of the colours I'm going to be using are from the design range from Homeware Design. Now, honestly, they've got some gorgeous colours, but the only pink I have right now is the Vivid, so I'm going to be using something else for that. But for my red, I'm going to be using the Ruby. Now, the Ruby kind of comes again in different stages of pigmentation. So the more you add, the more red in colour your Jesmonite gets. With just one drop, I've got a really intense dark pink, but I did really want it more red than pink. So I just carried on adding until I was happy, and I ended up adding 3 entire drops to this small amount of Jesmonite. Now, here's the thing, it's not red, it's not like bright Christmas red, but it is red enough to give me the contrast that I'm looking for in these trays. The next step for me is to pour it into my squeezy bottle. Now, if you do not have a squeezy bottle and you want to do these designs, I honestly would suggest using just the lollipop stick. So I've got 2 designs going on here, guys. We've got one that is piped and we've got one that is not piped. The one that isn't piped, you can easily do that without a squeezy bottle. You can just use your tools, use your lollipop stick or your silicone stirrer. You will see more as we get into the video. Now, I decided to do hearts. This is real time. Can we just take a moment? Yes, this is real time. This is real time, but I did decide to speed it up for you guys because none of us really need to sit through that. I decided to do some heart outlines using my squeezy bottle with the small metal nib attached. Now, I've mentioned this in previous videos. If you are using a squeezy bottle with a metal nib, you want to be fast. You want to be as fast as you can possibly go. And then before I get on with the second design, I'm going to go and wash this out because I'm telling you, once that metal nib becomes clogged, it is game over. And I like to make my things last as long as possible. So that's a tip for you. If you do decide to use these, it's all linked below. The molds are linked below. The squeezy bottles are also linked below. Everything is going to be linked below. But wash it out. Wash it out. Wash it out is the most urgent message I can give you here. So once I'm done with that, I move on to the second one, and I do run away quickly and wash out that metal tip before I continue. But now I've taken the metal tip off, and this is about as easy as it gets. We are going polka dots. Guys, it's so cute. Honestly, this reminded me of like a little girl's bedroom. I thought it would be so cute as a little Valentine's gift for, yeah, I don't know, your little girl or your granddaughter for their little room. I just think it's such a cute idea. And honestly, I wasn't planning on this at all. I was planning on purely doing hearts. However, when I started doing the dots on the one on the right, I decided, actually, I'm going to do some dots. So I'm going to leave them to set up for around about 15 minutes before I pour in the main back of these trays. And for the pink, I'm actually using the Jesmonite red pigment. The pink pigment that I've got from Homeware Design Company is Vivid Pink. So that goes, even with one drop, that gives me a hot pink colour. And it was really a baby pastel pink that I was looking for to contrast with this red. And you can see it's going to work a dream. Again, I sieved my powder before I added it to the liquid, and it just, oh my gosh, gives me the smoothest Jesmonite. It is absolutely beautiful. Next step then is to pour it in. Now, my crafty collaboration, all the details are going to be in the description box below if you want to take part. It doesn't matter what craft you do, whether you are a maker, a builder, if you work with wood, metal, anything, you can take part, and it's really just for fun. It's not a competition, so do check out the description box for that. It is coming up, I believe, on the 11th of February is the date. So if you are a YouTuber and you want to do a YouTube video as part of the collaboration, make sure that you mention it in the video that it is a collaboration. It needs to be in your title of your video as well as the description box. I will then share the playlist with you at a later date to be able to put that in your description box as well. And the reason I say this is really so that everyone who joins in with the collaboration gets seen. If you put a video out and there's absolutely no mention of a collaboration at all, it's really just not fair for me to share that video with my audience when everyone watching your video is not going to know anything about anything and not be able to see all of the incredible artists taking place. So please read the description box for all of the details. Let's get back to the video. This is 30 minutes later. Now, you saw me there just give them a really gentle shimmy and shake. Because I've already piped Jesmonite onto the mold, we don't want to dislodge that. We don't want to risk it. So shaking is really, really delicate at this point. You can't go wild. You can't tap the mold like crazy, as you would have seen me do in previous videos. But yes, I'm loving the polka dots. Now, off camera, I did actually add some of the red down into the lip of the mold. I didn't film it. I don't know why. I think it was just a last minute whim decision, and I'm really happy I did because I love the effect. And this is the hearts. Now, one thing to say about this is that this is not fine art. My hearts are a little bit wibbly, a little bit wonky, and yeah, we've got some spillage. So what's happened here is some of the pink Jesmonite has seeped down underneath those hearts. That means that those hearts did in fact become dislodged from the mold when I was shimmying and I was shaking. But it's okay, we are going to fix it. I'm going to show you exactly how I fix it in this video, and we are taking this all the way through to the very finish with the sealing process and how I'm going to finish the backs as well. So straight away, and yes, this is straight away after demold, I'm going to sand. I'm going to sand it back. Now what you want to do here is get the highest possible grit that you have, around 1,000. You can go higher, you can go 10,000 if you want. It's going to take longer to sand with a 1,000 grit paper, but it's going to leave my surface smooth. You could easily and happily go in with a 240 grit. However, this might leave marks and you'll still end up having to use a much higher grit anyway to get the scratches off from the lowest grit. Hoping I'm making sense. So this is wet dry sandpaper, again all linked below. So I'm just adding some water into my tray. I added way too much water. Don't be like me. I added way too much water. You do not need this much. So I'm just going to go over the areas where the pink Jesmonite has seeped down underneath those red hearts. And all I really want to do is sand away the pink. So you want to sand lightly, sand slowly. This is why I'm using a 1,000 grit, because it's not going to do too much damage to the rest of the tray. And yeah, you could see me there take away some of the water because that was way too much. So you can see here, I'm just giving you kind of like a close-up of what it looks like. And then you just want to go slowly over the same area, but not for too long. So you kind of, yeah, I'm not making sense, am I? You don't want to spend 10 minutes in one area. You will end up with dips and divots, and you don't really want that. So do move your sandpaper around, but equally make sure that you are targeting the areas that need to be targeted in order for that red heart to come back to being a true red heart and not a red heart that's got pink kind of half covering it. So you just want to keep going, keep adding water as well. Add water, sand some more, add some more water, sand some more. I'm really just showing you this on camera, but in reality, I would be doing this in my bathroom in a bucket
That's just so much easier. So whilst I'm showing you here what to do to get your pattern to come back to being a true pattern, I do then take this off into the bathroom off camera and I sand it again thoroughly. So this is what it looked like before with all of the seepage, and this is what it looks like afterwards. Now here's the thing. We can all see there are now there's even a hole on the right hand side. There's a hole. I don't know where that came from. And here you can see I went a little bit too hard and I took off some of the red heart, but I'm okay about it. You know, here's the thing, I've said it in a million videos, this is a handmade product. I still think it's super pretty, super cute, and I think it's still going to work. And actually what I'm going to do now is leave them to dry on my cake rack overnight for 24 hours before we seal. The other thing I wanted to mention is if you are selling your Jesmonite items, I've seen this on Jesmonite pages, you know, quite often they'll come with air pockets. There will be air pockets, air bubbles, and I would say 80% of the time you will get an air pocket. Just declare that in your listing. If you are selling on Etsy, declare it in your listing. Let everyone know it's a handmade product. Air pockets may be visible, and that is what I did on my Etsy, and honestly, it didn't matter. I still sold back in the day when I had an Etsy. Okay. Back to the sealing. I am going to be using the Jesmonite acrylic sealer like I just showed you on screen, and we're going to be putting on 2 coats. The one on the left is the bottle, of course. The one on the right is a diluted solution. It's 20% Jesmonite liquid to 80% water. And you want to create this. This was what we learned from day 1 when we used Jesmonite 2-3 years ago. And the first coat has to be diluted with water. Don't ask me the science behind it, but this is just what I learned about when I first started using Jesmonite. I am applying it with a cheap Tesco kitchen sponge. I've cut the sponge in half because I want half of the sponge to be the applicator and I want the dry half to be my wipe off. So like wipe on, wipe off. Again, this is my method that I decided to do. It's not something that I've read or something that anyone's advised me, but I feel like the Jesmonite acrylic sealer does leave streaks, so the kind of like the wipe on wipe off method takes away the majority of the streaks. Now I know that this actual sealer here that I'm showing you in this video has since been discontinued. It's been discontinued quite a long while now, but there is a brand new one on the market and it is sold at Jesmonite stockists. I just haven't tried it yet. I am going to get some. In fact, I really should. I should order some of that today, but I've got so much of this sealer left, so I will continue to use it. Not to mention other sealers as well by Elechem that I've shown on my channel. I rate those. They are beautiful. I also have the Protect It by Resin 8, but I've never tried it. I've not tried it yet. So yeah, that is it. 2 coats done. The first coat has to be diluted. The second coat has to be neat, and that has to be applied within 1 minute of your first coat, and that is it. We allow them to dry overnight and all is good. Now I am actually going to finish these off with rubber feet. Again, voiceover Claire, getting way ahead of herself. You need to stop, you need to calm down, girl. You could just see me here applying the neat coat, but we're just going to do exactly the same thing again. Rub it all over with one part of the sponge and then rub it off with the dry. And yeah, Bob's your uncle, you've done it. We've got 2 coats on here. Next thing to do is to apply the feet to the bottom. Now this sealer does dry quite quickly, so I'm quite happy to handle the trays at this point. I am using the 3M rubber dots. Again, they're linked below. I was using these from day 1 with my Jesmonite, and I really only changed to cork when everyone else started using cork, and I thought that looks kind of pretty. But here's the thing, if these are going into a damp environment, if you're going to use them in the bathroom as a soap holder or anything like that, or if you know that there's going to be hot drinks placed upon them, then I would avoid cork. I really would avoid cork. I would use rubber dots. And again, if these are going into the bathroom, make sure that you seal the underneath, seal the belly, like the tummy, the bottom, the tummy, really, the bottom of the trays. Make sure that you seal those as well if they are going to be used in a bathroom setting, because yeah, they will get damp and it won't be good. But there you are, rubber dots applied, and they are really, really quite sticky. I've not had any issues with the rubber dots coming off at this point. I've put the rubber dots on all of my plant pots as well, but everything will be linked in the description box below. And here you have it, 2 really, really simple, cute and pretty Valentine's Day trays. I love them. Let me know what you think in the description box. No, don't do that. Let me know what you think in the comment section, and I will see you all in the next video. Don't forget to check out my description box for the details on how to enter the crafty collaboration for Valentine's Day. Do you know how many times I've said Halloween collab? It's not okay, guys. It is not okay how many times I've had to redo this voiceover because I accidentally said Halloween collaboration. Oh, my brain. Anyway, I hope you've loved it as much as I have. I appreciate you all massively. If you are still here, don't forget to hit that thumbs up. Leave me a comment down below. I do love reading them, but as most of you know, I kind of found it really hard to keep replying to people after I hit 70,000 subscribers, but just know that I still appreciate you all massively. Seriously do. I'll see you in the next video. Bye.
I wanna tell you that I think you're looking just fine. I wanna tell you that I want you by my side. The way you move your body, the way I feel inside. I wanna take you for a ride. Wanna be with you? Do you want me to? Wanna be with you? You're the one that I want. You're the one that I need. You're the one that I want. We can make it tonight. You're the one that I want. You're the one that I need. You're the one that I want. We can make it tonight. I wanna say that you are the one I need. I wanna say that you are the one who's making me breathe. I hope that you can stay here. Yeah, you can stay the night. I hope that you can stay with me. Wanna be with you? Do you want me to? Wanna be with you? You're the one that I want. You're the one that I need. You're the one that I want. We can make it tonight. You're the one that I want. You're the one that I need. You're the one that I want. We can make it tonight. Stay here, it'd be more than okay. 'Cause there's nothing that can stand in our way. If you'd stay here, it'd be more than okay. 'Cause there's nothing that can stand in our way. You're the one that